Terry and Lydia here. We got back from a 60-day vacation, almost all of it at sea. 4 different cruise ships, 4 different itineraries, and probably a lot more meals and desserts than we should have eaten.
Ouch.
Yeah. But we've broken down the costs. We knew what our cruise fares were going to be going into this thing, but we hadn't really thought through what all of it costs, even though we've done a lot of cruises in the past. So we're going to look at the cruise fares, the excursions, the internet packages, the flights, the hotels in between, the whole gamut, and we're going to bring it to you.
It surprised us.
Yeah, it really did. So let's get into it. Before we get into the numbers, let me give you an idea what our trip actually was. We did 4 cruises back-to-back over 60 days total. The first was the Holland America Eurodam. That was 17 nights out of San Diego. Then the Cunard Queen Elizabeth, 10 days with 4 stops in the Western Caribbean. Third was the Caribbean Princess, 10 nights through the Eastern Caribbean. And finally, the Holland America Osterdam, 17 nights down the western coast of South America, through the Panama Canal, all the way to Chile. 3 countries we'd never seen before. We really enjoyed that last trip down to South America.
Yes, we visited new countries. It's Ecuador, Peru, and Chile. We got so excited. We like new places.
Yeah, we really did. But the whole trip was a lot of traveling, and I guess we should say it included some overnights in hotels, because one of the things we did is we went to San Diego first and spent 3 nights in San Diego to get the trip started, and then we had hotels in between. And also on the trip, we had layover time between the ships, we had hotel nights, we had flights to get us there and flights to get us home. We're going to cover all that, but first let's start with the big numbers. And I'm going to need to refer down here to be able to read these things. That's the cruise fares. That's the biggest part of the trip and what we knew going in. The cruise fares for both of us for the Eurodam were $2,872. For the Queen Elizabeth, it was $1,382. On the Caribbean Princess, it was $1,794. And on the Osterdam, it was $3,408.
Wow.
Now, that's a combined total of $9,456, nearly $10,000. And I have to stop and say something about those numbers. Those are for inside cabins. We typically do inside cabins. They weren't all inside, but we're not balcony people by default. In fact, Lydia, have we ever even been in a balcony cabin?
Maybe. I don't remember, but we tried to set up like cheapest room because we want to take more vacation, see new places, and for that we need money.
Yeah, we do. And we kind of don't mind the interior rooms because it's just dark. And you know, when you're out on a trip, we're out in the ship, we're on excursions, we're enjoying the ship. And let's face it, when you're in an inside cabin and everything's dark, I get to have her all to myself. So I don't know, I've never really missed that, but every once in a while we do, if the prices are close, we do an upgrade, you know, if it's just $50, $100, something like that. We'll get a bigger room, but we don't really worry about whether it's balcony or not.
Yeah, because we're busy, running around all day long, eating.
And if you don't know us, one of the things I guess I should say too is that we're kind of retired. Lydia's retired. She's been retired for a few years after 30 years of public service and social work. Thank you very much. And
I like that job.
Yeah, you did. Yeah,
I did.
And I've still got a business, but I work a lot less than I used to. And we spend a lot of our year away from home, which is really nice. But that just means that we need to keep our costs low. And we aren't a couple that have sold our home. We have a home, we like our home, and I think we're going to just always have a home. So, you know, we have to watch what we spend. So if you have any ideas, that you have some good travel ideas about how to keep costs low, please put them in the comments. We're really open to learning everything we can. Well, Lydia, the next big thing that was a cost on our ships was the tips. And the tips are something that a lot of times we don't think about going in. And the way the tips work now is that the cruise lines handle them a little bit different between cruise lines, but in general, you pay a set fee every night a set fee every day for the tips per person. And I believe that on this trip, they were either $17 a night on some ships and $18 a night on other ships. But this is the breakdown of the cost that we had for each ship.
And people so nice, so they deserve good tips.
Yeah, we don't begrudge the tips, but it is a cost you have to remember that you're going to be paying. On the Eurodam for our trip, we spent $612 on tips. On the Queen Elizabeth, it was $340, and on the Caribbean Princess, it was $340. On the Osterdam, again, like the Eurodam, it was $612 because they were the same amount of days of itinerary. So the total cost of gratuities on the trip was $1,904.
It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money when you're traveling that period of time. It really adds up.
But people deserve very, very nice people. Like, I'm
Yeah,
surprised how they're doing great job. Always feel welcoming and so.
Well, that's one of the reasons we like these ships, is we enjoy interacting with people and even ask them about their life story and things. So.
And for us, I like sometimes they automatically deduct for tips because, people maybe who is cooking dinner, we never see them, but they deserve some tips. They spread probably
around. Yeah, we really actually like that idea.
Yep.
Lydia, the other one that is a little bit harder for me to deal with is the internet. It costs quite a bit to get good internet, and sometimes they have different levels of internet that you can purchase. Just a basic email type. Then you've got the social media kind, and then you've got the upload, download, faster speeds, which aren't faster at all, but they're better than the lower cost internet. So you have to pick those. We decided to have internet on our whole trip, but that's one of the costs that's a little bit harder for me to stomach. Do you think we can get away with not doing internet?
No. I love social media. I have 2 Instagram, I have TikTok, I have Russian YouTube, so I need it.
Yeah, and I have to kind of watch my emails just in case business comes through so that I can make sure I handle things. But we also do these videos, and it wasn't easy on the ships to do videos because the upload and download speeds are really rough. So we did minimal of that, but we do need the internet. The one nice thing about this trip was that at least on the Caribbean Princess, they gave us a half price internet. So instead of $400, it was $200 for our 10-day trip. And the other thing, the way I kept it low, is that I get one internet plan, and then Lydia and I switch it back and forth on our phones so that only one of us can use it at a time. And if I need it on the laptop, we switch it over to the laptop. We don't pay for 2 different internets, and that worked just fine for us. So we were able to keep it a little bit lower, but you're going to see it's still not a low price. So here's the cost of the internet, and again, I'm going to have to refer to my notes.
And thank you very much, Princess. You give us a little bit break.
The internet across all the ships was $1,070.
It's lots of money.
Yeah, it was a lot. And for us, it's one of those things that we just can't do without, but I wish we could.
We can't. It's interesting why they give us break for internet.
Well, on Princess, the reason they gave us half-price internet, that's a good question, was that because of our loyalty status. And the truth is we've done dozens and dozens of cruises, but we've spread them out over all the different cruise lines, so we don't really get a big benefit out of loyalty status. In fact, it never really feels like we get a benefit out of that. But on Princess, we did hit a level where they gave us half price internet, so that's why they gave us less price on the internet.
Super.
So the next thing we need to talk about is excursions. Excursions are one of those things where you can either book an excursion through the cruise line, or you can do things on your own. Sometimes, because we were in ports several times, we've been in some of these ports in Mexico, for example, several times, we just decided to do a port day where we'd go and do our own thing, or we'd even just check out the port so that people would know what's in the port if they didn't want to actually do an excursion. And we have videos about all those things on our channel. And but the excursions do make up a big amount of what we paid on this trip. Now, we were on 4 different ships and we had a lot of itineraries. We started in San Diego. We went down through the Panama Canal. We went to a lot of different Caribbean countries and territories, and you know, it just adds up.
Yeah.
What do you think it cost us for excursions?
You tell.
It cost $3,730.
That's lots of money.
That's a lot of money.
Add to everything, oh my goodness.
Well, when you think about it, you've got the cruise fares. And then when you think, okay, well, we spent a couple thousand on tips, and then we spent 1,000 or a little over 1,000 on internet, and then we spent 3,700 on excursions, you can tell this is adding up. So in regards to excursions, what was your favorite? What do you like to do?
My favorite, it's like city tour, because you can see buildings, you can see people, how they dressed up, what kind of car they're driving, and you can see lots of view of the city until you're driving. And plus, they always stop at the highlights, like beautiful places, maybe a square or like beautiful view. Yeah, it's very beautiful tours all the time. I don't remember when we took like tour that we didn't like it. Yeah. City tour. Yeah.
Now, one of the things that we should say is that when we take a trip like this, we like to get our flights and get to our port city ahead of time.
Yeah, just in case, because what if plane will like cancel?
Yeah, what if you have a plane issue? What if you have luggage issues? Your luggage doesn't show up and you're getting on a ship for 17 days.
And we talked to people and they actually missed it because flights was canceled and they cannot make it.
Yeah.
So they flew to the next stop, but
it took 5 days later.
Yeah, but it's not always allowed even to
get on midship. Yeah. So yes, we like to get to the ports early. In this case, we got to San Diego 3 days ahead because we thought, let's just spend some time in San Diego. It's beautiful there. So we spent 3 days in San Diego. That way we made sure there wasn't any issues. But we enjoyed San Diego. So that's hotel nights, it's activity nights, it's Uber rides. We're going to cover all that type of cost too.
We want to be safe than regret.
That's right. So whether it was in San Diego or in Miami and Fort Lauderdale where we had layover nights between the ships, we really enjoyed that time, but it actually cost real money. And our costs for our hotels for those 6 nights were $675.48. We actually got a pretty good deal, but that also includes 34,000 Hyatt points, which covered 2 of the nights. So
lucky us.
So it was money and points. But that's what it costs us. And then we had the Uber cost, the miscellaneous stuff. You got the hotels, you've got Uber getting to the ships, getting back from the ships to a different hotel, going to different activities. We also went to the San Diego Zoo, for example. We went to Super Blue in Miami. It's a museum with a bunch of laser lights and interesting things. Again, all those things are on our channel, videos that we've done. But it all adds up. And when it came down to it, the Ubers cost us $472.60. Oh, I should say our flights cost us $2,009.42.
Wow.
Yes.
Prices increase, I think.
Yeah. And then because we had to get to San Diego for the port to get to the ship, and then we had to fly back from Santiago, Chile back home. So, it adds up. But then like I say, our Uber cost was $472.60, and we spent $412.05 at restaurants. And then with the venues that we went to, it added another $254.32.
And we were very conservative about food because we ate in a hotel breakfast and then in the evening just dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
we
not
didn't
just
go out to
we
eat
ate
all
three
the time.
times, like 2 times.
You're right. We would get the free breakfast at the hotels, free. And then
It's not free.
and then we just eat a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's add up everything. These were the costs for the cruise fares. Let me get my glasses on. $9,456. Gratuities, $1,904. Internet, $1,070.
Wow.
Excursions, $3,730.
That's lots of money.
Yeah. Flights, $2,009.42. Hotels, not counting points, were $675.48. The transfers, Ubers, attraction venues, and meals were $1,139.47.
Wow.
That's a grand total over 60 days and 4 cruise ships was $19,984.37.
Oh, Terry, just say it, 20,000.
Yeah, I'm sure we dipped into our pocket a few times. That's all. That's everything I had recorded.
Yeah, we didn't expect. We spent lots of money. 20,000.
And it could have been a lot more. Let's face it. If we do things fairly frugally. We watched for deals on some of these ships.
Yeah.
One of them was a repositioning cruise. Actually, 2 of them were, but we didn't really get great pricing on that. But we got what we could, and we try to keep our costs low. So
Yeah, in excursion we were looking how much it costs, so we choose kind of like not very expensive. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 20,000. It's 10,000 a month. It's lots of money, but stay at home. It's cost money too. So.
Well, yeah, we have the set cost for our house that we already have. We're not buying groceries at home during that time, but let's face it, $10,000 a month, it was a lot of money. So we've got to figure out how often we can do that. But we also like to do road trips. But Lydia, one of the things that I did was I took the $19,000, almost $20,000 and broke it up for 60 days. And what I came out for a daily cost for the 2 of us was $333. And when I looked at it that way, for traveling, it's not that bad, I think.
Yeah, but we still need 10,000 a month.
It still comes out. That's what it looks like, at least for this trip. We've got to figure out how we can do it more frugally, I think. What I really would like to do is really capitalize on those repositioning trips. And so hopefully we'll be able to do that.
And if you will see any good deal, please do in comments, because we read in our comments every day. Basically, we try to check them all the time. Just give us advice or like tips what we can do. We will be very happy and appreciate. Yep.
That's right. Well, one of the things that we should say is that we know we're going to do this again. We like to travel. We've actually done a 60-day trip 2 years ago, kind of similar to what we did this time. We just didn't break down all the costs. We just paid what it costs, and now we're trying to figure out exactly where we're at. But since we know we're going to do it again, is there anything you would like to do different?
If price is good, we will take the same cruises, but maybe excursion will be different. We will take different excursion. We really like nature, see animals, birds, and maybe we will set up that kind of tours. And and sometimes we have to just relax, maybe lay down by the pool, because we were so busy, running all day long. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you're on vacation and you're too busy being on vacation.
3 meals, tea party on some cruises, and maybe we have to skip sometimes one meal.
Lydia, that's one of the things that I liked about these longer extended trips is that there were times where I felt like we actually started to relax more. Sometimes it's go, see everything you can on the ship, and we do, because we do the full ship tours also, but there were times where we just go for a walk. We do lots of walking. But we actually got to the point where we started to feel like we lived on these ships. We were living on the ship, not just vacationing. And that was a nice change. Instead of just, okay, we're going to go on a week vacation. We were basically living on these ships. And we figured out that over the years, we've spent almost, 10 or 11 months at sea because we've been on so many cruises, which is kind of crazy. But and the other part about us being in retirement or semi-retirement for me is that we start to look at what we want life to look like. We're trying to find our way. We do road trips too, but I'll tell you, this 60-day trip, that's a pretty nice feeling. The way it went, that felt really good.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Between ships, we had layover times, hotel nights. That's how much I learned about while you were gone. I think we're in trouble.
Please. Subscribe, do comments. It's not easy to do video.
Okay, try to shake off the smile because it won't look right in the editing.
Oh my goodness.
Between ships, we had hotel nights, layovers. We had...
Okay, that's it. I'm crying now. I have to...
It's okay.